What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk about my Arcade1Up machines. I fucking love these things, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are definitely some cons with these devices as well that I want to cover in this video. So it's kind of a pro-con video. Should be kind of fun. I'm very excited to dive into this and talk about it. Thanks for joining me. Let's jump right in. So we're going to start the conversation off talking about the pros. And the first pro is a pretty obvious one, but should not go understated, and that is the fact that these machines allow you to bring the arcade to your house. And I think that that is really, really cool. It's cool to have a PS5 in your game room, or a nice PC and a retro station and all these other things, but having arcade machines, that's fucking baller status. And I think these are great attention getters, conversation starters. I think that's just fantastic, and I think their design is great as well. They just look good in any game room, so really love that. The next pro for me is the value. I think the price is actually right, especially on these 4-foot machines. Both of the machines I have are the shorties. They're the 4-foot machines that you can buy at Walmart. They're always in stock, at least I believe so anyway. And these retail for $400, but you get 13 arcade games with each of these machines. There's 13 in here, 13 in here. And for that price, for the conversation starter aspect, I think they're pretty well worth that price. They have a lot of the heavy hitters, Pac-Man in here, Dig Dug in here, Galaga, Galaxian, a lot of classics in here. MK 1 through 3, Root Beer Tapper, Paperboy, Rampage, Gauntlet, and Bubbles is sick. Paperboy, I think I said that twice. Why did I say that twice? I don't know. But I think the value is actually right for these. Before I bought these, I was looking into getting a full-size original arcade machine. And at least in my area, I was able to find a couple, but they were in pieces, or missing a monitor or something of the sort. And even those were around $1,200, and I still would have had to put money into them to get them running. And obviously I didn't have to do that buying these. So I think the price is right for these 4-foot machines. Now, Arcade1Up does make these machines in 7-foot tall machines as well, and those are $700 to $800. That is too expensive in my opinion. I think the $400 price range is right. So the value of these specifically is worth it in my opinion. The next pro kind of ties back into the last point, and that is the ability to be able to actually move these machines without it taking 4 people and a dolly. These things are super light, easy to move with one person, not a big deal whatsoever. And if you were to get a real machine or original machine, you're looking at a $300 to $400 cabinet. Obviously, it's got a CRT in it, which adds weight. They're fucking heavy, unwieldy, hard to get around. And I don't think I'd be able to even get one in my basement with how my house is laid out. So that is a massive positive for these. You can put these pretty much anywhere. And what more can you ask for? Now, before we start going all shitty party pooper pants, I do want to mention one thing that's just kind of a median thing that I want to mention. The Pac-Man machine is 2 to 3 years old, and I just got the MK2 machine about 3 weeks ago. The reason I bring this up is I think the build quality of the Pac-Man machine is superior to the MK machine. So I don't exactly know if this is the currently retailed Pac-Man machine that you can find, or if they've changed the design to more of this style. I know that they try to emulate the actual machine, so it's possible they're still selling this one, but I'm just bringing this up because I don't know if they changed it. Not that the build quality is necessarily bad on the MK2 machine, but I will say the sides are 2 pieces on the MK machine, and there's a visible crease here on both sides, which I'm not a fan of. Now on the Pac-Man machine, it's all 1 piece. And with that as well, there's a piece of plexiglass over the control pad on the Pac-Man machine, and this just has a matte finish. I prefer the look of the plexiglass, but I cannot clean it, so it's kind of a pain in the ass, but I prefer it over the matte finish. That's just a personal preference thing, but I just wanted to mention that in case they have changed it. I probably should have researched it before making the video, but it's too fucking late now. Alright, so now let's move on to some of the not so great aspects of these machines. The first one being the control pads. It is not a stretch to say that these are not the greatest control pads you can possibly find for a machine like this. There is mods you can do to replace the buttons and sticks with Hall buttons and sticks, but the standard ones that come with the machine don't feel all that great, is what I'm trying to say. I wish they were a little bit more clicky. They're just not. It's better on the MK2 machine than the Pac-Man machine, but I think it's just because those buttons are larger and these are smaller, so these just inherently feel like they have a little bit more pop to them than the Pac-Man machines. But out of the box, not the greatest controls that you could ever want. The next con, and well, you know what, the next two cons are really only going to apply to this machine. So I'm going to kind of hammer on this thing a little bit. The first problem I have is that these machines are very narrow, which is nice for movability, adjustability, but if you can tell, this is a two-player control pad. You cannot physically play two players on this machine comfortably with two grown adults. If you were two kids with very narrow shoulders, you could probably get away with it, but there's no way I'd be able or willing to stand here at this one, have my brother Daxton or Drew stand here as full-grown adults. We would not be able to make this work. It's too tight. It just would not work. I have played this multiplayer with my wife. We played Clax. We've played Rampage together. And we're married. It's not a big deal rubbing up on your wife to play video games, but it'd be really awkward for two adult males that were just buds playing at this thing. It's just too narrow for that to accommodate. Not a problem here, obviously. This is a one-player machine. There's really no issue there. Yes, it's tight, but it's just you. Who cares? And then the last con that I want to mention, and this is an absolute crime, I'm going to be completely honest, is the fact that for some reason on this machine they decided to go with a 16:9 aspect ratio monitor in here, which is so stupid to me. All of these games are presented in a 4:3 aspect ratio, so when you put that into the machine, they add these bevels to the side with graphics. So the monitor is already, you know, small compared to the plate that's on here. And then you make it even smaller by having the wrong aspect ratio monitor. Obviously, it's a cost-cutting measure. I'm sure it's more expensive to get a 4:3 square monitor, but they did it for this. This is a vertical monitor, and it takes up the whole screen. But this new machine is why? I mean, it's just you guys know what I'm saying. It looks like it's so small. It's just why it doesn't need to. It's small and it has no need to be small. It's small to save money, and that sucks. So I think that's a crime. And on top of that, the older models of the MK2 shorties did not have a 16:9 aspect ratio screen. So this is a recent thing that they've done to cut corners and cut costs. And I would have much rather paid a little bit more to get a monitor that fits in the machine properly. So that's a massive, massive bummer for me. All right, so that's 3 pros and 3 cons of the Arcade1Up machines. Personally, for me, I still love these things. I think they're an awesome addition, and they've become one of my favorite things in my man cave down here. I truly love it. I play them on an almost daily basis. I'm a busy guy at work, so it's just really accessible and easy for me to come down, play a couple rounds of Pac-Man, and then go to bed. So throw a couple credits in, super quick, off to bed. So these work out really well for my lifestyle, and I think they're just aesthetically super dope to have in my house. But that's just me. Hopefully this video will help you make your decision if you decide that you want to purchase these. If I swayed you one way or the other, let me know. I would really appreciate it. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. I will continue to do live streams from these machines. Those live streams are so much fun. So look out for more of those in the future. And yeah, we'll be back with more content soon. Working through Legend of Dragoon right now, which has been surprisingly a lot of fun. So we're going to keep going with that. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I love all of you. And we will see you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.